Did Fozzie really just type waiting for court vibes? Should I delete that comment? Okay, Carolyn was first, guys. Carolyn was first, but I hate shotgun, so I said first on my son's account. Yep, I did. Hi, Lacey. Okay, I have so I worked a double tonight, and then we had a party that stayed way late, like 2 hours later than normal. So I worked 2 extra hours after a double, and I thought, "Man, I'm never gonna be able to get anything together for this stream today." So I got home, and I got all these videos, and I can't really play any of them because I won't have time. Because we're gonna go through, that shooting. We're gonna go through that shooting, we're just gonna go through the lady lawyers, the prosecutor, I think, um, questioning him. Because if we went through both of them questioning the first witness, it's an hour long, and then we wouldn't have time for Fleischer, and apparently I missed some really good stuff on Fleischer, so I got it today. We're gonna see it. We're gonna see it, and I'm so excited because I didn't see it yet. I saw little bits and pieces while I was editing, but I didn't see it. So, it looks like it's gonna be good, though. Yeah, the AC is working well. I'm cold today. But to be fair, I think outside is not hot today. Now, when I edit Judge Fleischer's videos, I don't I don't sit there and watch every single minute. I cut I cut out the gaps and things like that. Um, so I feel so bad, guys. So Ramona came on and said hi. She popped up in a window down below, and I thought it was just some random lawyer popping up, and I cut her right out. But don't worry, we're starting with her. This is Ramona, guys. Hi,
Judge, they
Ramona.
want me to say hi.
Hi, Ramona.
Is this good?
Oh, you poor thing. I know how you feel. So that was Ramona. She is. She is. The courtroom, I don't know. It's like our home away from home now, this courtroom. Like, I had a crappy week. I'm sure you all had a crappy week because that's where weeks are. Weeks are crappy. But then we get into this courtroom and we forget about our crappy week because they're having all crappy weeks and we don't have to worry about our crappy week. Thank you guys for having crappy weeks, worse than our crappy week. Hi, Lori. All right, let's go to, um, yeah, that wall. That wall was the first thing, and, I almost didn't get that clip because I couldn't see the judge. So, as I'm scrolling through the courts, like, a court has, like, 6 maybe 6 seconds to get my attention because there's thousands of courts. So, as I was scrolling through it, I don't know what made me stop on Judge Fleischer's, um, court at all because he wasn't there. You know, he must have said something in that exact 6 seconds. He must have said something like "stuck on Chuck" or something that made me stop and say, "Wait a second, what is this?" Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Because, I just this courtroom is embracing, like, the public and the public eye. And, they're like, "This is our courtroom. This is how we do it. This is how it's supposed to be done." Um, and They're not like some judges, mute all the time and, you know, but no, no, this judge is like, this is the American justice system. Everybody watch. And we want to watch. Okay. We are going to
Bailey is charged
we are
with
going to 17 minutes in, which is about right. 18. Okay. There he is. So he's going to take the stand. This was one of the officers that arrived on the scene. Now, in case you didn't see anything yesterday, and you missed it, I'm just going to quickly recap. They just had um, their opening statements. So what happened was the police department got calls because there was some gunfire, and one of the bullets had struck a room, a child's bedroom. Nobody got hurt. Nobody gets hurt this entire case. All right. I'm just gonna put that out there. Nobody died. No, I'm pretty sure. So vitamins. All I know is vitamin P that's in beer. So they had their opening statements, and the lady on trial is on trial for like obstruction because when the police arrived on scene, they say she obstructed them. It's gonna be hard to remember that a bullet was found in a child's room as we go through, today. So just try to remember that. Just try to remember that. So this officer who was running into gunfire, when he was there was gunfire. 25 shots, I think is what he said. And he had to run towards the gunfire, and they didn't stop shooting when he said, yes, Paps. They didn't stop shooting when he said, "Stop, police, stop." One of them didn't put the gun down. The other one was tased, and that's how he got stopped. They continued firing guns while the police were there. All right, so just remember now remember that. Now he's on the stand.
Nothing but the truth, so keep going.
I do.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
yes.
Could you please state your name, spelling your last name for the record?
Yes, it's Deputy Troy Fox, last name Fox.
And where are you currently employed?
The Warren County Sheriff's Office,
In what capacity?
Deputy Sheriff,
And how long have you been a deputy sheriff with the Warren County Sheriff's Office?
coming up on 2 years.
And prior to working for the Warren County Sheriff's Office, did you have any law enforcement experience?
Yes, I work as a police officer for the City of Germantown Police Department,
And how long were you with Germantown?
approximately 1.5 years.
And is that your law enforcement experience?
Nothing, Hope, not much.
So about 3.5 years.
Yes,
And can you tell us briefly about the training you took to qualify you to be a police officer?
I went through the OPATA Standardized Police Academy through Edison State.
And what are your current job duties and responsibilities as a deputy sheriff with the Warren County Sheriff's Office?
To respond to emergency calls, other calls for service, and enforce traffic laws.
Were you so employed on duty in a marked cruiser and in the uniform of the day on September 23rd of 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have an additional piece of your uniform that you're not wearing today?
I do, or did.
And what is that?
My hat.
And what does your hat look like?
A lot of people refer to it as like a cowboy style hat. It's pretty iconic to the sheriff's office uniform.
Okay. And would you wear that if you were outside of your vehicle?
Yes.
And did you have occasion that day to conduct an investigation at 5274 Zor Road in South Lebanon?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that residence located in Warren County, state of Ohio?
It is.
How did you come to be involved at the Zor Road location?
I had responded to a call, shots fired with a bullet that went through a house over in Grants Frederick neighborhood, which butts up to the Zor Road property.
I'm going to show you, just so we all know what we're talking about. Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 3 and ask you if you just recognize what's depicted in that photograph.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, may I publish it to the jury?
Yes. What?
Okay. Can you tell the jury what is depicted in this photograph?
Yes, so this property right here is the address on Zor Road, which I responded to. This residence right here is where my initial response was to.
Okay. So you respond to this home on Grants Frederick.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you see when you get there?
I was met by a female there who was visibly upset and crying, and it told me that there had been a bullet that came through
Everybody
her son's
just got
bedroom.
thirsty who saw that.
Did you respond to the son's bedroom?
Yes, she took me upstairs and showed me the bedroom, and I did in fact find what appeared to be a bullet hole through the side of the window there. It's kind of hard to tell, but that left window came through. There were pieces of the vinyl broken on the bed, and then across the room you could see where the round had struck the wall, and part of it went through that wall into the another interior wall in the house.
Okay. And do you recall approximately what time you responded to that property on Grants Frederick?
Not off the top of my head. It was dark. It was later in the evening.
Okay. How quickly did it take you to respond after receiving the dispatch?
A few minutes, about 3 minutes.
Okay.
4 minutes maybe.
So less than 5 minutes from receiving, there's a bullet in my house,
Yes, ma'am.
to you responding to Grants Frederick.
Yes.
Did the residents at the Grants Frederick property report hearing gunshots?
Yes.
Approximately how long were you at the Grants Frederick property before you went to Zor Road?
I would say probably around 5 minutes or so.
And why did you respond to 5274 Zor Road?
So the homeowner at that residence had said they heard shots coming from the direction of property east of their house, which would have put it at this property. But excuse me, while I was on scene there, I had also received an additional call for shots fired in that area as well from a separate residence.
Do you know where that residence was located?
It was one of these houses over here in the neighborhood.
On Grants Frederick.
Yes, ma'am.
So a second dispatch.
Yes.
Were you familiar with the 5274 Zor Road property?
From call history, yes. I had not personally responded out there, but I had heard calls for service while on duty out to that address for shots fired.
It is very
other
pretty.
deputies have responded out there for calls for shots fired from that address.
Okay. So when you respond to Zor Road, are you responding lights and sirens?
No,
Why not?
I'm not 100% sure that that's where the shots came from. And at that point in time, I did not hear any shooting.
So as you're responding, you're not hearing gunfire.
Correct.
But would you agree with me we're less than 10 minutes from the initial call to respond to the Grants Frederick home for a bullet?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you observe? I'll strike that. What do you do when you get to the Zor Road property?
I pull right into the edge of the driveway, which is kind of hard to see with the trees here, but This is Zor Road here. I came out of Grand Frederick, come down this way into the driveway and pull into the edge of the driveway here. And I observe several people outside playing cornhole, some sitting on a retaining wall, I believe, along the front of the residence here. And I put my hat on and exit my patrol car.
And your lights and sirens are still not on at that point, correct?
Correct.
Is there music playing?
There was music playing.
How would you describe the volume of that music?
I wouldn't have said it was anything excessive. Probably at a volume where people could still communicate with each other, but enjoy listening to it while they're doing whatever they're doing.
And what was the lighting situation?
There was kind of an ambient light. There weren't any spotlights in the area, but there was some light.
So you could see the people you were approaching. Is that fair?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you make any initial observations of those individuals prior to speaking with them?
As I approached them, it appeared that most of them were probably intoxicated.
Why do you say that?
Odor of alcohol. They had alcoholic containers open containers of alcohol.
I was probably intoxicated.
And just some of them seemed to be a little uneasy on their feet.
About how many people do you think were in that group?
About approximately a dozen.
Where do you, using State's Exhibit 3, where do you approach the group of people? Where are they located?
So, as I said, my car's somewhere right in here. This group of people somewhere right in this area here in the driveway.
What is this?
Winter is coming.
That's a fire pit.
Okay. So they're in the general vicinity of the fire pit on kind of the driveway.
Yes,
area.
ma'am.
I cannot think of 11 friends to come over and join me around a fire.
When I
4.
made contact with them, I initially
11?
asked who was
No.
shooting on the property.
And were you familiar with anyone in that group when you arrived that day? Did you know anyone that you were looking at?
No, ma'am.
Was an individual you later identified as Sierra Bailey a part of that group?
She was.
Do you see Sierra Bailey in the courtroom today?
I do.
Could you please identify her and point out something she's wearing?
She is over here sitting at the desk. She's wearing like a tan top and a black shirt under that with glasses.
Your Honor, we'd ask the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant.
Yes.
Thank you. So you ask who's shooting on the property.
I can use comments any way I
Their
want.
response.
I do. There was a gentleman that had raised his hand as if he was saying he was shooting, but then quickly put his hand down and told me no one was shooting, as well as Sierra Bailey,
So what did Sierra Bailey tell you that first time you asked?
that nobody was shooting.
Anything can be a fire pit.
Did you ask again?
I did.
Why did you ask a second time?
I didn't believe the answer that there was no shooting involved.
What was specifically the defendant? What was her demeanor as you were having this interaction?
She appeared obviously intoxicated. She got up in my face and seemed very irritable that I was there asking the question of who was shooting on the property.
What did you ask the second time?
I had asked again if anybody was shooting on the property and got the response of no. At that point, that was when Miss Bailey had said that there were, I believe she said about 130 acres on the property and anybody could be shooting on your property.
What was her demeanor as she said that?
Still irritable and kind of in my personal space.
What was your demeanor as you were asking the questions?
I would say assertive.
Did you ask again a third time?
I did ask a third time.
Why?
Again, I still did not believe the answer that nobody was shooting on the property. Also, to add, I apologize. The second time I did ask her, I did mention why I was there investigating as far as the bullet going into a house and almost striking a 4-year-old child.
Did that explanation incentivize anyone to tell you that there was shooting on the property?
No, ma'am.
What happens when you ask a third time?
I get a denial again that anything's occurring, and then shortly after, Ms. Bailey says no again. That's when I hear shots ring out.
Tell us about hearing shots ring out.
So immediately from where I was standing on the property, I could tell that they were in very close proximity. I couldn't specifically see from where I was at the time, but I knew it was close and what direction I needed to go.
How would you describe the volume of the gunfire that you heard?
It was very loud.
Did you hear it over the music?
Yes.
What was the reaction of Miss Bailey when the gunfire was heard?
There was no real reaction of surprise or anything like that.
Did she make any statement?
No.
Did she make a movement to run for cover?
No.
Do you recall if she had a child with her or not?
I believe she did.
Upon hearing the gunfire, did she make any effort to move that child to a location away from gunfire?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone in the group that you spoke with that included Miss Bailey, did any of them show surprise at hearing gunfire?
No, ma'am.
So what do you do after hearing the gunfire?
As soon as I hear the gunfire, I just kind of give everyone a look around and draw my firearm and run straight to the area where I hear the gunfire, which ultimately was back in here. I ran back here, and when I got to this area here by the silo, that's where I was able to see people shooting.
And approximately how far is that distance?
We will be able to see these pictures later. I don't know why we can't right now, but we'll be able to see the pictures. Better yet, guys, we'll be able to see the body cam.
I would estimate it to be approximately 50 yards.
So half a football field.
Yes, ma'am.
So you respond back there, and how many people appear to be shooting from your perspective?
2.
Did you attempt to make contact with those individuals?
I did 3 times.
Did they respond to your commands in any way?
The first time I ordered them to put their guns on the ground and show me their hands, yelling at the top of my lungs. They both stopped shooting, looked over to acknowledge me, and then went back to shooting. Same thing happened the second time. I gave them a second set of commands after they started shooting again. They stopped shooting, look over at me, acknowledged I'm talking to them, and go back to shooting. On the third time, Dustin Bennett and Thomas Bailey, who were identified as the people shooting the firearms, stopped shooting. Dustin takes a handgun and puts it down by his side and looks at me and acknowledges me. And at that time, Mr. Bailey turns toward me with the firearm, pointing the firearm at me as if he was intending to shoot the firearm.
What are you doing as Mr. Bailey points this firearm at you? What are you doing?
It's kind of hard to explain because of how time just slowed down, it felt like. But I was here behind, like I said, I just kind of had cover behind this silo here. So when he turned and pointed that firearm at me, I had time to break down in my head to think, okay, I've got these people behind me, and I've got these houses over here. What's the safest, smartest decision? And that ultimately was to move and take cover on this side of this building here, so that I was still able to keep eyes on these people and have cover from the individual shooting.
Are you communicating on your radio at all during this time?
Yes, ma'am.
And what are those communications?
And initially, when I was trying to make contact and get them to comply with commands, I was giving updates. Well, I initially told dispatch I had 2 males at gunpoint, which prompted a emergency response from multiple officers from multiple agencies in the area. And as I'm giving them these commands, I'm updating dispatch and the responding officers that they are not complying with commands and they're continuing to shoot. Ultimately, I did let dispatch know that the male had pointed the firearm at me. And then that's when as I was moving to cover behind, I believe it was a garage right there.
It's
At some
Warren
point,
County.
you
I think it's
stop
Ohio.
being able to respond on your
Yeah, Donald has
due
it.
to the situation.
Yes.
At the time that you're taking cover by the garage and Mr. Bailey is pointing a firearm at you, do you have any backup on the scene?
No.
Look, guys, I just don't honestly know. So looking at that photo and the houses behind it, is that an acre? Is that 1 acre? Or no, not 1 acre. What did they say it was? Does that look like, how big is that? Does anybody know how big that is? I'm going to get a lot of comments on this one, but I don't know how big that is. Oh, wait. CJ, don't answer that because you're going to say like 60 kilometers and then kilo to me is just drugs.
Does Mr. Bailey voluntarily drop his weapon?
Eventually, yes.
Talk the jury through that, please.
So eventually,
3 acres, that's about
when I
3
got a couple
acres.
backup units on scene, at the same time, Mr. Bailey and Mr. Bennett started to walk this way, as well as 2 females that were with them started walking towards the driveway from the barn area. They did not have any firearms in hand, and they were all ordered to the ground. Ultimately, Mr. Bennett and the females all complied and had we call it throwing out, laying on the ground, and Mr. Bailey did not.
What did you do next?
Mr. Bailey was given multiple commands to go to the ground. He refused and ultimately was tased at that point to get him to the ground. The taser deemed ineffective. He had a thick sweatshirt on, so ultimately it only bought a little bit of time to be able to run up to him and try and get him into custody.
From the time that you heard, well, strike that. When you were still up with the group near the fire pit and you heard the first sound of gunfire, how many shots were fired at that time?
Probably close to at least a dozen.
And when you get back and are giving the individuals with the firearms commands to drop their weapons, how many additional shots do you think were fired?
Have we ever seen them in the same room at the same time?
So you get Mr. Bailey and Mr. Bennett detained. What do you do next?
While in the process of getting Mr. Bailey detained,
Go to Disney World.
Mr. Sherwood, who's not here today, and Mrs. Bailey made their way back to the area where we were trying to take the other individuals into custody.
What is Miss Bailey's demeanor as she comes back to where closer to your location?
She's irritable, screaming. She's got her phone out recording, and more or less getting in the way of our officers while we're trying to do our job.
And at some point, once additional law enforcement, I'll strike that, fair to say, a large number of law enforcement officers responded to the Zor Road address that night.
Yes, ma'am.
At some point, almost everybody gets detained. Is that correct?
Yes.
You said that Miss Bailey and Mr.
Nobody
Sherwood
detained me.
came back. and
Nobody
tried to get
handcuffed
them.
me. Everybody did not get
Do you
detained.
detain either of them?
Both of them.
Who do you detain first?
Mr. Sherwood.
Tell us about that.
He is put into handcuffs and instructed to sit down. And once he was in handcuffs, and we went and sat him down alongside this barn back here.
And at that point, did you intend to charge Mr. Sherwood?
Yes.
And was Miss Bailey present when you placed Mr. Sherwood in handcuffs?
Yes, she was.
Was she still recording at that time?
Yes, I believe so.
And at some point,
Just so Fozzie, you understand what's going on. They're trying to CC everybody, but they miss one.
did you place the defendant under arrest?
I did.
Can you please tell the jury about that?
After Mr. Sherwood, I ensured that the other officer taking Mr. Bailey into custody didn't need anything else from me, and I walked over to her to take her into custody. Ultimately, I placed one of my handcuffs onto her left wrist and put it behind her back, and when I went to go for her right wrist, she pulled it away and put it in front of her.
And were you having any conversation with her at this point?
I don't believe so. I don't recall.
Did you tell her she was under arrest?
I don't believe so.
Why not?
I honestly, there was a lot of, I just had a firearm pointed at me. There was a lot going on. So I don't remember if I told her that she was under arrest or not.
But you placed a handcuff on one of her wrists.
I did.
And are you able to secure that one handcuff?
Yes.
Half of the handcuff.
Yes, ma'am.
And what happens when you try to get the other wrist?
She pulls her wrist away from me and puts it in front of her, holding her phone, I believe.
And what happens from that point?
Ultimately, there's a little bit of a struggle trying to get her other wrist. Another officer, Officer Ratliff with Hamilton Township PD, arrives on scene, sees Miss Bailey resisting, and he comes up and helps to get her other wrist so we can get her in custody.
So it took two of you.
Yes.
What was her demeanor as she was pulling away from you?
She was, again, still upset, telling me that she kept yelling something about, he didn't point his gun at you. He didn't point his gun at you.
Guys, she was 5 and it was Chinese handcuffs. Leave poor Sarah alone.
So you're aware that Miss Bailey was recording?
Yes.
Have you had are you aware that she turned that video over to law enforcement?
Yes.
Have you had an opportunity to review that video?
I've seen it. I wouldn't say really viewed it, but I have seen it.
You've watched it?
Yes.
And does it appear are you in the video?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, permission to play State's Exhibit 1.
Yes.
Get ready, guys. It's a little shocking.
Shoot somebody because he thought.
Listen, I'm recording.
Good, I don't fucking care.
Okay, I'm glad you don't care because I am.
Yes, you did.
That is my husband, and I just watched the whole entire thing. There was not a gun pointed at you.
Good try, though. You was in the fucking bar. No, motherfucker, I was over here.
No, you were not.
That's cool. Hey, good train. Give me your fucking hands. I dare you to take off running.
Nobody pointed a weapon at anybody, just for future reference.
Hang out right here.
All right.
Sit down and shut your mouth. Down.
TJ, don't say anything. Don't do anything. Yeah.
I want fucking everybody talk.
I have an infant right there, and I have not said or done anything. If you cuss me, that is well against my rights.
Everyone can reduce. We got multiple people in.
I would like your supervisor.
I don't give a fuck.
please.
He'll be here.
Okay.
He'll be here.
What is your name and your badge number?
948.
Okay. Well, I need to go get my infant. If
I don't
you'd like
care.
to accompany me there.
Your infant was not that important.
You are being super aggressive.
That you can't.
You actually took my phone out of my hand.
You're gonna put your phone down.
That's a accurate depiction of what happened, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And in that video, we can see you walking to get Mr. Sherwood, but you handcuff him out of frame, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you walk and sit him back by the building as you described.
Yes.
The defendant actually mentions to you that you're about to handcuff her.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
On her head.
And she said repeatedly that nobody pointed a firearm at you.
Yes.
When her video ends, are you still struggling with her?
Yes.
And do you recall, well, strike that. Did you strike her phone out of her hand?
No, I do know at some point it came out of her hands, but I don't recall what exactly happened.
Did you hit Miss Bailey?
No.
Did you hit her hand?
No.
At any point, did you fall to the ground with Miss Bailey?
No.
I always like
I wanna
how women on the
turn
ground
back.
when I handcuff them.
Well, strike that. When you placed Miss Bailey in handcuffs, were you going to charge her?
Yes.
What was your plan to charge her with at that point?
Obstructing official business.
Murder.
I want to turn back to when you first approached the group by the fire pit, when you first arrived at the Zorba property. Once you walk up, does anybody else join the group?
No.
And did Miss Bailey appear? Strike that. Did Miss Bailey ever tell you that she didn't know whether there was shooting on her property?
No.
Did Miss Bailey ever indicate that there may be other people that were there for the party that were not present in that group to speak with you?
No, ma'am.
How many people, I know there were 2 individuals shooting, how many people ended up being back in that area?
If I recall right, I believe there was 5 people back there.
Which area are you talking about?
Back where the shooting was occurring.
Okay.
So Miss Bailey never informed you that, hey, there's 5 people missing from our group?
No, ma'am.
Had Miss Bailey said, there are 2 people back shooting in our makeshift range we have back in this barn, what would you have done?
I would have immediately made my way back to those individuals to prevent them from being able to shoot any more to possibly hit another house.
Approximately how long were you speaking with the group up front by the fire pit before hearing the gunfire?
I would say the interaction took approximately 2 minutes.
And so if you had been told when you first got there that there were people shooting, would you have been able to make it back to that barn before additional shots were fired?
Council approach.
I'm a professional, guys.
You believe
There. Now just have to wait a few seconds. Your audio is fine. I know there's no sound. I can't turn it up. The cone is talking to the hat and the judge.
Did you believe Miss Bailey to be truthful when you were speaking with her at the fire pit?
No, ma'am.
In the video, you appear heightened, in a heightened state.
Yes.
Can you explain why?
I just had a massive adrenaline dump. Someone had pointed what suspected to be a loaded firearm at me.
With no
So
support
that
llama.
I don't know if anybody's ever had a loaded firearm pointed at them. It's not a very fun feeling.
Of course we have. We live in
Is
America.
it your typical practice in your everyday interactions on your calls that you walk around cussing people out?
No, ma'am.
This is not your average call, was it?
No, ma'am.
That's what it sounds like in my living room.
And throughout the course of the Warren County Sheriff's Office investigation into this case, were you able to confirm whether the bullet that entered the house on Grand Frederick in fact came from the Sport Road property?
Yes, the sheriff's office did.
Just relevance at this point. This isn't a trial of Thomas Bailey. The origin of the bullet.
Well, first of all, I think his answer was non-responsive. She asked him if he was able to confirm that. It's not relevant, but I'll let him answer that question.
And your answer was?
That the sheriff's office did confirm that, yes.
Okay, the jury will disregard that statement. The question was, did he confirm it? And he said someone else did, but that someone else is not here yet. If they are, then they can testify to that. Okay.
If I could have just a moment, Your Honor.
Yes. The significance of it is really nothing, though, because that's not related to these particular charges.
CJ, can you ask Rebecca to ask Donald, to ask Kelly, to ask Michael Psycho, to ask Fletcher, to ask Dave, to ask Darkest, if and to ask Sally if Fuzzy is okay?
I have no further questions for the deputy.
Thank you. Cross-examine.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
I was watching that video. Why did you take it away, woman?
Deputy Fox, if you can hear me at any time, just let me know. Again, later in the day, my voice might get quiet. And if my question
This
doesn't make
video
sense,
is
just let me
better.
know,
Look.
okay? I don't want any guesses. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You testified on direct examination that you had never been to 5274 Zor Road.
Listen, if we go any further, we're going to go 30 minutes further and we're going to miss all the good stuff from Judge Fleischer. We're going to get to his questions tomorrow. 30 minutes of them. I was so into it, I forgot that I wanted to stop it. Okay. Oh no. Yeah, Fozzie's not okay, guys. No, I'm not saying again, I'm not an owl. Forget it. You guys don't know what that means. Maybe one of you. There, I closed it. I closed it. I closed it. Okay. Now we're going to go into Fleischer. Now, so apparently, okay, if you remember, yeah, I have no idea what day it was. We were watching Judge Fleischer. I'm gonna say Tuesday. He was in the light blue, um, and some guy came up and he was talking, and the guy interrupted him, and the judge like got real mad. Don't you interrupt me? Get in the jury box. Do you guys remember that? If you don't, go back and watch. I think it was Tuesday. It's either Monday or Tuesday. It was when he was in his light blue suit. So in the we never covered the second half of that day. We only got the first half of that day. So the guy goes into the jury box. And also we had the lady with the red hair and the baby. So she went in the jury box. Eventually someone picked up the baby and she got taken down. So they both come back that day. And we didn't get it in the first time. So I got it now. Oh, I think it's this one. Maybe this clip. We'll see.
Let me do PC.
Boom.
Watkis is the last name.
I love this hair. Look at this hair. Mushroom?
Watkis, W-A-T-K-I-S.
Mushroom.
Are you Vincent Watkis? Mr. Watkis, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir. Okay.
On or about March 16th, 2024, officers with the apologize, Your Honor, it's a DVD case that hasn't been screened yet. They responded to a disturbance call at Clay Road and spoke with the complaining witness, who stated she was physically assaulted by the defendant, the father of her child, known by name and sight as Mr. Watkis, at his date of birth. Complainant said that she and the defendant were having an argument because she found some makeup under her bed. She stated that the defendant became angry and the defendant hit her in the back of the head with closed fists, and that he grabbed a clothes hanger and hit her on her body. Complainant stated that he then took the child and left the location. She ran out of the location to seek help.
Donald does that sometimes too. You gotta watch him.
They spoke with the complainant's mother, and the mother had said that she received a call from her daughter, and the daughter had wanted her mother to come to the location on Clay Road to help to help her. Her mother arrived and found the defendant had left the location with the grandchild after the altercation, and that she took pictures of her daughter's injuries. And she stated that she believed the complainant was fearful of the defendant. And she identified the defendant by his photograph as well. The complainant also said that she felt pain.
Do we know that if she wants to remain in contact with him or
Donald,
not?
get off the window.
Or do you have it yet or no?
Yes, they completed their call. She wants us to evaluate it for dismissal, Your Honor.
Mr. Watkis, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm entering in, let me see if there's protective order already in place. Yes, it looks like on the 21st of this month, a protective order was issued in this case. I would get to know it. If you do something to violate that protective order, the state can and will file a violation of a protective order. It's one of the worst cases you can pick up here. I am ordering as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case and not to be in possession of weapons. If you violate this, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds from me. You understand? Yes or no? I will do everything in my power to protect every single person in Harris County. If that means keeping you locked up at a $30,000 bond, I'll
What
do it.
about
in a
me,
heartbeat.
Judge? What
You
about
now
me?
know what's expected of you. Don't violate these conditions. Don't pick up a new case. We're now going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So first, I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, I'm going to have you take your seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go. So can you file no contact and no weapons, please?
Looks like there's
This
something
is
in
the
her
original
shirt right
Pomar.
there.
Yes.
Good morning, Ms. Pomar.
Good morning.
And you are wanted out of Florida for attempted burglary of a dwelling.
Oh, that's her
armed,
boobs. Never
and
mind.
criminal mischief. Are you waiting for an extradition, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Good luck to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Leaving all back.
Connor, is this the last thing you have?
I have one other case in here, but
Okay.
yeah.
I'm waiting on Natalie to respond to me. Hugh.
Back on Eric Shezania.
Oh, is he here?
Judge, you were talking about Torres, you wanted him here on Friday.
Yes, sir. Angel Torres, please.
All right, I'll
Thanks.
thank you.
Judge, we had another CHA.
Okay.
Case.
Just hold on. It's okay. So once Stephen puts him back, if you want to go back there and ask him to bring Shez.
Think we could get Melissa, Stephen, Ramona, Victoria, and Judge Fleischer to color coordinate all 1 week. They all wear the same colors every single day. That would be so funny.
Me, that way we can do it. Thanks, Hugh. Okay, Victoria, who is it?
Page 34, Ward Sierra.
Good morning, Miss Ward.
How you doing?
Do you have a lawyer today, ma'am?
Not a lawyer that they have,
Tell me what you're doing about that.
waiting on his other lawyer.
Sorry?
I'm waiting on his other lawyer.
What does that mean?
Like, waiting to see if he gonna, I guess, yeah.
I don't understand.
I spoke with a lawyer, but he never said nothing back. So I'm still looking for another lawyer.
How long is that going to take? No, but your case is 80 days old. It's time now. It's time to do something with your case now, man. Just go ahead, appoint her someone today. We're doing something with you today, man. Take a seat for me in the jury box.
Judge, I just emailed you, Mr. Brown's proof of employment.
Mr. Sheshima, Your Honor.
Is it Shmezima?
Shemezimana.
How's jail?
Huh?
How's jail?
It's not good. I hate it. I'm scared of it.
You're on felony probation,
Yes, sir.
and now you've picked up a new case.
Yes, sir. I'm disappointed in myself that I did, sir.
Don't want to talk about the cases. You know, my Hugh, your lawyer,
Sir.
wants me to give you a PR bond. You're on felony probation, and from what I see, you initially picked up a felony, and I guess they have now dismissed that and refiled as a felony. So what happened that it was?
What was the name? It was refiled as a misdemeanor. That's what we're here for.
I mean, was it less than 10? Was it 10? You're charged with mail theft.
About 3
You're
acres.
facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
On June 19th, 2024, officers were dispatched to 2919 Leland Street. Defendant was spotted vehicle at 2700 Leland Street. Officers activated their body cameras prior to making contact with the two defendants. The complainant stated that she observed a white vehicle pull up on the corner of where her residence was located at via camera, and the complainant stated that she observed defendant Shimana get out of the passenger seat, take the package that was placed on her front porch by Amazon, and go back into the vehicle. The complainant stated that immediately after she began following the defendants in her vehicle and was able to get a picture of the license plate. The complainant stated that the property stolen cost approximately $33, and the complainant was able to positively identify the item taken, which was a white shelf rack located in the rear seats of the vehicle.
It was a white shelf rack.
Disappointed.
So I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case, and I'm ordering you not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case and not to go within 500 feet of where she lives. You understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to give you a PR bond on this, sir. You're on felony probation for a very serious case, and now allegedly you're package thieving. Sorry, dude. I'm also, as a condition of your bond, ordering you not to be in possession of any weapons as well. You know, the other thing is that, do you know what's going to happen upstairs? Have they filed a motion to revoke his probation?
I don't see that there is one yet.
Okay, it's a matter of time before they issue a felony warrant. As it is, you're on felony probation. You're not supposed to pick up any new cases, and when they do, there's serious consequences. Let me tell you. Let me ask you: have you been to prison before?
Yes, sir.
If you think Harris County Jail is bad, wait till you see Huntsville. It's so bad that it'll turn you white. That's how bad it is. So, Logan, do you see anything on this now or no? As far as?
No, Your Honor, I haven't received any evidence yet.
No, I mean, as far as do you know if they're going to file a motion or not?
The system is glitching. They haven't filed a motion yet. We'll get with them this afternoon to check.
Okay. For now, please don't send them down because I'd like to create the conditions. All right. So what we're going to do now is just we're going to wait, see what happens. But I'm sorry, man. I just can't. You know, that's. Oh, thank you.
She was the one that had the little baby last week.
I remember.
Yes.
Ms. Pendergrass, with all these cases that you have, at some point, you got that young baby. CPS is going to get involved. And I'm going to tell you, that's not a good thing. You think this is bad. Wait till CPS gets involved. And wait till you see how expensive that gets, how arduous, how tedious. Really, you think we're bad? Wait till CPS gets involved. And the more criminal cases you pick up, it's a matter of time before they get wind. And then it's really going to go south. And I'm gonna tell you now, you pick up a third case, I'm gonna make your bond so high, you're gonna split into 15. I'm gonna literally lose it. You pick up a third case. As a condition of your bond, ma'am, so the theft is it a Walmart theft, right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. You are not allowed to go to any Walmart for any reason whatsoever. As far as the criminal nature is concerned, you are not allowed to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you guys mind filing those conditions, please?
Sure.
You must stay in touch with Mr. Dixon. He will tell you when you have to come back. So for now, I will have you sign a reset, and then I'm gonna have you take your seat in the jury box so we get your bond conditions. Don't fail us again. Everything that you picked up, every single case, self-control. You do whatever you want without thinking of consequence. At some point, it's really gonna come back and bite at you. God forbid it doesn't bite you in a way that you can't dig yourself out of. Think before you act. Think before you speak. It's not hard. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. Thank you.
Obviously.
Did someone ask you to get up? Take him in back, please.
That's the guy, guys.
I'm now revoking your bond, sir. Hey.
That's what we missed Tuesday. I'm just going with Tuesday. If you guys want to correct me in comments, that's fine. That's what we missed Tuesday. Well, that's nothing compared to what we missed on Friday. Let me tell you. I think it's this one right here. Here we go, guys.
She went to go get drug tested. She's back here. It looks like she tested positive for THC. I don't know if you got an email for that.
Sorry. If you remember, there was a girl standing up there. Her mom was here. He said, you know, I want you to go get drug tested and be here in 10 minutes. We'll see you in 15 minutes. I'll see you in 30 minutes, if you remember. And the mom was there. She did go get drug tested. And he's like, you know, you better come right back or I'm putting a warrant out for your arrest. Well, she did come back, and she's coming back right now with her mom. Hi, David. It's vodka.
Come up, ma'am. Miss Smith, no. Yes, Miss Smith, come up.
Her mom ran up there.
No more marijuana. Do you understand? You tested positive. I don't know if you knew that that was going to happen. I had a feeling, you know, when the cat's away, the mice will play, right? So I'm telling you now, I'm going to drug test you 31 days from today. And if you test positive again, that tells me that you've continued to smoke. Guess what's going to happen?
You're going to jail.
Right.
Yeah. As you should. I'm angry.
It's okay. It happens. You know, we're all young and did things that we shouldn't do at one point, but luckily you've not dug yourself into such a hole that you can't crawl out of it now. The problem is what you do now at 17 will affect you for the next 40 years of your life, and you don't get it. And that's okay. That's why we're here to show you what happens. Some people get it. Some people are eternal kids for life and end up with a number on their back forever. So We don't want that for you. We want you to be on the up and up.
One.
Have you seen how many lawyers there are here? That's the way to life. The way to life is money. When you have money, good things can happen. Lavish vacation, nice cars. When you don't, at the very minimum, graduate and go on, you'll end up with nothing. So tell me, I want to give you my card. You have my number. If you ever need anything, you let me know. Just tell me what kind of conditions you would like on her and we'll do it. Curfew, no contact. If she's hanging out, we're back. Just.
Definitely a curfew. Because the type.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this gonna hurt?
When she hangs around that I really don't know nothing about.
Okay. So let's do this. I don't want to put everybody on the spot, but I'd like you to get with Mr. Sims.
Yes.
So you're not in school now, right?
No, summer, yes.
It's summer.
Vacation.
So what are you doing now?
At home, with me, because I'm on vacation, I teach, so we're
Great.
both on vacation.
Thank you for being a teacher.
Yes, and so, I planned some vacations for me and her sister.
Okay.
Because I've raised her two siblings from babies, I read them. And I thought maybe by me going back to college and getting my doctoral degree to show them they could do it too, I wouldn't be going through this.
We're all young and did things, and,
Yes.
and if we need to put her in lockup, we'll do it.
If
Don't
that,
violate these conditions.
yes, if she violates that, I'm in total agreement because this is her chance to get her life right. And yes, I will.
So what time do you want? Which thing do you get?
Time to
As far as a curfew, you want 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 7,
7 o'clock,
7,
11.
11. Okay.
Well,
I would like a 6 p.m. curfew, please.
You know why? Because when I do,
You don't have to explain.
okay.
Just do whatever
She
you
do come
want.
back. Yeah, 10:30 is fine.
Smoking weed, because I'm telling you, it will stay in your system for 30 days. If you go out there today and smoke, I will know. And I promise you, it's not going to go well for you. I get the attitude you're giving me, and that's okay. You can hate me all you want. It's okay. I want you to do well. And the only way is to make sure that we are on top of it and make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. And when not, and when you hang with dogs, you're going to get fleas. As far as it is now.
I was working the other night and I was outside in the alley where the trash can is, and the lights in the back came on, and I boom, went right inside the building. It was like muscle memory. Lights went on, boom, right inside the building I went.
So no harassing or abusive contact with the complaining witness, no weapons, and no dope, no alcohol. And I will test you. And that's it. As long as you can stay clean, you and I will be best friends, Miss Smith.
All right.
Okay. So hang tight. We're going to have her take a seat. I'm going to get with Tracy for the bond conditions, and then we'll go from there. You have my card. You ever have an issue, first get a hold of Mr. Sims, and he'll get a hold of me, and then we'll go from there. Okay?
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hey, Trinidad.
Slate on the docket.
Yes.
Down his.
Slate or Blake?
Blake, I'm sorry, Blake.
Who's standard for Miss Smith, right? With random.
And curfew. She said curfew 10:30.
Just at 10:30 p.m. 6 a.m.
Sure, whatever she wants. Yeah. Mr. Blake, come up.
Hey. He's a little.
That's okay. He's not doing what he's supposed to be doing now. You know why you're here, right?
Yes, sir.
Why are you here?
Criminal trespass. His mother.
You have bond violations.
He's currently living in a group home, Your Honor, and he's back on his medication. So we're getting that taken care of right now. We got a hold of his caregiver, and that's who got him here, make sure that he was here today. The last time the caregiver got to the house late, he didn't get the information. That's why he wasn't present. But me and Gloria worked on getting the caregiver the information, and that's why he's here this morning. So he's.
Ms. Garza, do me a favor, remind me of the facts of the case, what happened, because I don't remember Mr. Blake's case. If you can just give me a brief rendition. Blake.
Officers were dispatched for a disturbance call, and the CW is the defendant's mother. He would not leave the property, and the first time officers arrived, he had already left, and then he came back. Officers came back and arrested him for not leaving and making threats to his mom.
So living there.
Sorry?
Living there at the time. He had all his things there.
But she didn't want him there, right?
Apparently, whatever was going on at the time. But again, I believe it had something to do with his being unmedicated. We're taking care of that now with the group home. He's got a group home now. He's getting stabilized with his medication. So we're trying to get to a resolution now.
I guess my question and my only concern is the complaining witness and whether he's tried to go back and harass her again.
Your Honor, I spoke with the complaining witness myself, and she stated that this issue was just due to him not being on medication and drugs, and that now that he's been on medication and been in the group home, that he's improved significantly and there hasn't been any more incidents. So
we moving in the right direction.
She did say that she wishes for a condition that would be to take medicine and no drugs.
That's something that we're going to be struggling with for the remainder of this existence.
Yeah, we've done that, correct, Ms. Garza? Have we not put a condition that he's got to continue to take his medication? I would have to imagine that we did that as part of his condition.
Just they were asking about Mr. Raina, will you allow him to do a payment plan?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
For sure.
I don't see that as a specific condition.
But we recognize that ourselves, Your Honor, that he needs to continue to be medicated. Correct.
So remember that, so he just got another PR bond because you were just released from custody, Mr. Blake. One of the conditions that the magistrate set was that you were not to have contact with Jeanette Wiltz. Do you understand? If you violate this, it's not going to go well for you. I'm now adding on an additional condition that you must take your prescribed medication. What are you taking?
Yes, sir. I have.
What are you taking?
Oh, segments. Yeah, that's good. They change it every month also. They're trying to figure out, they're trying to get him, to an equal spot. I'm already off doing regular shot and they're doing normal difficult. I know it's difficult as one of them. We don't have to take
So understand, you will not get another PR bond. Mr. Blake, you violate these conditions again. This is your first time. I'm not going to play this game again with you. I promise you that. I don't care if you have Jesus next to you with Trinidad. You understand?
Sure.
I know that Trinidad gets a little testy, but I'm not playing games with you.
Amen.
You must take your medication, no contact, unless we know she wants to have contact with you. Do you understand?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll give you normal research. Thank you. Hey.
That's like a win for all of us with exes. The judge remanded him. Love it. Love it.
What is the one thing we asked you not to do, Mr. Luna?
Don't drive.
You now stand charged again with unlawful carrying of a weapon. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. Okay.
On June 25th, 2024, officers observed a vehicle fail to signal a turn prior to turning in Harris County, Texas. Upon viewing the traffic violation, officers activated emergency lights and conducted a traffic stop. Officers made contact with the driver, who was identified as the defendant. Officers observed the defendant acting very nervous, hands shaking, and not making direct eye contact after asked if there was people in the vehicle. Defendant advised that there was nothing illegal in the car, and when asked to search the vehicle, he declined the search. Defendant was then asked to step out of the vehicle and was detained. K-9 Hero was deployed on the vehicle, where he then alerted on the back driver's side door. Upon conducting a probable cause search, officers located a black backpack located behind the passenger seat. The backpack contained 2 mason jars containing marijuana with a combined weight of 2.4 ounces. Officers then located 7 THC
The
vape
jars
devices
or the
with a
weed?
combined weight of 4.20 ounces and a small black scale. Officers searching the vehicle further discovered an unholstered black Smith & Wesson 9mm under the front driver's seat that was loaded.
Mr. Luna, do you have a Texas driver license?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor.
Do you have liability insurance in your name?
Yes, sir.
You see,
Because I was running it.
I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication, and no slinging. I'm now taking you into custody because you violated the conditions that I asked you not to do. Number 1. Number 2, if you get out, your bond conditions are going to be so strict, you're going to flip. And I'm going to tell you now, you violate again, I will deem you a public danger and make it sky high. Do you understand? He goes with you.
Your Honor, his license was eligible.
Okay, thanks. All right, so I guess he's going to pop up on Monday's docket. I'm imagining he'll be out. So let's roll back again on Monday and we'll go from there. But I'm assuming he's probably going to bond out by then. So come back on Monday and we'll go from there, please. Okay, thanks. And then we'll just give you the 3-week on the other gentleman. Thanks. I am. Yeah.
For Mr. Corbett, did you want him to report back here or just wait for 2 weeks to see?
No, report back here. No. Yeah. Okay, Anna.
I haven't talked to you.
Okay.
If you need the cause number, all the paperwork should be in your queue.
Kano?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. You mind bringing it up? Come up, Miss Kano.
Yeah, we call up here. Use your mic. Or-
All right, Miss Kano, you're charged with.
He
assault
wasn't
of
in front of the judge for the drugs. He was in front of the judge for the bond violation. The drugs are separate and the gun are a separate charge, I think. For the judge, he was in front of him for just the bond violation, right? Maybe.
Family member, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 1 day that you've done. You know, you had the opportunity to get this thing dismissed, and I'm going to tell you, It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next week, but at some point you're going to come back and you're going to think to yourself, why didn't I not get that thing done? I hope that at some point, if you ever run into us again, you take us seriously, you do what you're supposed to do. As it stands now, like I said, you're charged with assault of a family member. You've worked out this agreement. This charge will go on your record. The other thing you need to understand is that there's an affirmative finding of family violence, meaning that you can never own a gun or ammunition as a result of this. And if you ever pick up another one of these types of cases, an assault case like this, you'll be facing a minimum of 2 years in prison, a maximum of 10 years in prison. All you need to do is literally grab someone's arm and squeeze to where it hurts. And you're looking at 2 years in prison as a minimum. Do you understand, man? You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this agreement, you can never change this or undo this. How do you plead to the offense, man? I will find you guilty, send it to you to the agreement. Good luck to you in this case. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And we'll roll it CC so she won't. Okay, ma'am. Please see the.
Nothing to see here, just Victoria and the judge together, ruling the world.
I didn't necessarily say
So, Mr. McGinley has two guys here too.
Oh, yeah, fun by theirs.
It's Humphreys and Robles.
Yeah, and then we'll start back with the arraignments.
Oh, you have more rain?
Yeah, I should have said no to Carl, because that created a whole.
It's okay, but we did a lot. Yeah, let's start.
Well, let's start with giving him some candy. Can I have some? Good Lord.
So what are you gonna do first? Gonna do the rain?
No, we can do that.
Fine, okay.
Well, yeah, you know what, I'm sorry, because the attorney's going to be leaving around middle of Friday. So can we start the arraignment like that?
All right, how many more do you want?
I think like 3.
All right, let's do it.
I thought that was sweet, so I left it in.
Page 2, Bob, come on up.
Bob, did she just call for Bob and only one person is coming?
Bob.
Somebody's coming
Page
up.
2.
There's Bob. Spelled his name backwards.
Hey. Is your lawyer going to be here today, Mr. Bob? Okay, it's time to do something with your case. It's nearly 400 days and you've been given bond after bond. We do something today. Take a seat from in the jury box. We'll wait for your lawyer to get here. I'm waiting for the lawyer to get back so we can do something. Mr. Gomez, you're charged with unlawful carrying a weapon. Tell me, did you think this was difficult?
Yes, sir. I feel I made it more difficult than it was supposed to be.
If you pick up another case for the next 5 years, you're going to come back here. And I'm going to tell you, if you think that it was hard this time, just wait. You come back here because you make some other move out there endangering my public. I'm going to light you up so hard, you're going to think that we've made it a career. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
The next time you get out there and you have some kind of thought that to do something that's going to endanger, put anyone at risk, whether it's in a car, whether it's in a house, whether it's outside, think before you act. Because if you come back here with another case,
on a train in the rain,
get ready. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You've worked out an agreement. They're offering you 30 days in jail, credit for the 11 days that you've already done. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses, testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you are stuck with this. Mr. Slider, what about the weapon? Okay. The weapon that you have here will be forfeited and made into a manhole cover. How do you plead to this offense, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty, sentence you to the agreement. Mr. Gomez, I'm not asking a lot from you. I'm telling you, think before you act. Think before you speak. Because if you come back here with a new case, get ready. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good luck. Yeah. Okay, please the clerk. Who is the other arraignment besides Pope?
First of all, when you come up the elevator, behind the elevator, you'll see a
Page
glass office.
16, Terry, come on up.
Mr. Terry, you're charged with criminal mischief. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. Your case is 717 days old. You've been given PR bond after PR bond. Let's see how many you've got. I'm going to appoint your lawyer today. We figure out today what happens with your case, sir. So just take a seat for me in the jury box. Victoria, do you mind reaching out to Kenneth Walker? Come up, Mr. Walker. Tell me, have you ever been arrested before?
Yes.
How many times have you been arrested?
Twice.
Would you go to church looking like that?
Yes.
In shorts?
Yes.
That's extremely disrespectful. You don't come to court in shorts, and the next time we will put you out. It's a complete sign of disrespect. Do you understand, Mr. Walker? You're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On June 21st, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop on a Porsche parked between a handicap and no parking zone. They made contact with driver who was identified by his Kentucky license. Defendant advised that he was having car problems and couldn't move the car, and that he had parked there to run into the gas station to grab a Gatorade and a Swisher Scoot. And between his legs, there was a handgun in plain view. Officer asked defendant to step out of the vehicle and observe the smell of marijuana. During pat down, a bag of marijuana was found in his pocket, 26 grams. It should be noted that this was at a strip center, and directly in front of where the defendant was parked is a daycare.
Judge, I do have an argument for BC. The argument first being that the officer says he conducted a traffic stop. We have nothing on what this traffic stop was based on. Additionally, they're in a private property. This is a gas station. This is a strip, a shopping
Bad
center,
driving.
not a public roadway. So the Texas Transportation Code doesn't apply to private properties. We don't have anything other than the owner calling or somebody else calling 911. So I don't think we have a reason to even get to PC based on the traffic stop that the officer is claiming.
I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case, Mr. Walker. Do you have a Texas driver license?
No.
How long have you lived in Houston, sir? It's time to surrender the Kentucky license and get a Texas driver license, and I'm giving you 2 weeks to do that. If you do not do that, then I will take your privilege to drive away from you permanently.
I wouldn't.
Then I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. If you drive, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive.
Judge, I would ask if we could give him the 2 weeks to hopefully resolve that issue out and then to have.
He's been extremely arrogant the entire time, counsel. He's been, the way that he's acted since he's walked in here, I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you consume alcohol, likewise, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds, sir.
You go, Judge.
You have a lawyer. Because you do, I will waive your appearance, but it's your responsibility to stay in touch with counsel. If they come back to me, tell me they can't get a hold of you because you're gone MIA or ducking and dodging phone calls, I will issue a warrant for arrest. If I have to put you in jail because you violate conditions or you pick up a new case or you don't stay in touch with counsel, you will not get any more PR bonds from us. I will have you come up here, swear test that you're not going to drive, and we'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset, and then you'll get with Tracy your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go, sir. Thank you, counsel.
Here we go, guys. The main event is here.
Ms. Pope, you're charged with assault, bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you.
She can't
You have the
remain
right to have an
silent.
attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, ma'am. Okay.
On May 11, 2024, officers were dispatched in response to a family disturbance. Complainant described that the defendant was hitting her with a brittle wooden stick approximately 15 to 20 times all over her body, causing her pain. The wooden stick was approximately 7 to 8 inches in length, and the complainant stated that she broke the wooden stick while hitting her and felt the most pain when hit in the face with the wooden stick. The complaining witness wishes to pursue charges.
So who is the complaining witness in relation to Ms. Pope?
Your Honor, I read the DIMS. It didn't say. The officers did respond in response to a family disturbance, but I don't see the relation.
My mom didn't know that was not okay.
And the complaining witness's voicemail is not set up, so we haven't been able to.
So who is Ms. Nicole Knitz to you? Is that an acquaintance?
That is my 43-year-old cousin that had been raising hell for 8 hours in front of my aunt's house. And I had enough. I'm sorry. I gave.
Don't say anything about the case. Is it possible to keep you guys separated? I mean, who?
Sure. Yes, sir. For
Does
Pete's
this
sake.
person live in relation to where you live?
Well, I used to live there with my elderly mother's youngest sister.
So that's your mother's sister?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I used to live there, and then she had a fallout with her, the father of her child. At 2:00 in the morning, she demanded that I have to leave my place where I've lived for a year, worked hard. My place of residence with my mother's youngest sister for nearly a year at 2:00 in the morning. And
The only thing I would like, it's okay, Ms. Pope. The only thing that I would like is for you not to have contact with this person. As long as you can do that, you and I will be fine. Okay? Would you like me to appoint you a lawyer today?
Sir,
Okay.
I'll appreciate that.
I will appoint your lawyer today. The only other thing I'm going to ask you is please show up to court. When you show up, good things happen. I'm telling you that because we have 2 times that you've missed court today. or since then. All I'm asking you to do is show up. I will give you a lawyer today, explain your side to the lawyer, and then they can work out with the DAs, and I'm sure that we'll be able to work something out, okay?
Okay, Your Honor, I would like to say one thing. I don't want to offend anybody. The day that I had court,
talk.
that's when it was flooding a few Fridays ago. The schools were closed. My elderly mother came with me. The courts were closed. 2 days later, she had a seizure, scared me to death. So I'm sorry.
It's okay. Nothing's happening to you today. We're not taking you into custody. We're not doing anything to you. I'm letting you know I want you to show up from now on. That's it. That's it. But I will give you a lawyer so you can always explain your side to the lawyer. And if there are any issues, you can always relay that to the lawyer and he can come and talk to me, or she can talk to me as well. Okay? So for now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We will have you just take your seat in the jury box while we find you a lawyer. We'll have you talk to this person, and then we'll figure out where we go from here. Okay? Okay, please.
Wells.
Can you create
She'll be
no
back.
contact and no weapons, please? Is the felony case that she has associated to this as well? Is it just a completely different matter or what?
Yes, sir. I think this 4 days later, it looks like the felony is at night out.
Just starts breaking stuff or what? That's a lot of stuff at an IHOP for $2,500.
Let's see. For the IHOP. They don't know why or what she wrote scripted. She wrote something to the IHOP.
Oh, who knew IHOP had something that expensive?
All right. By the girl. By the most expensive asset there.
Okay.
Did you see how the judge was like tapping his mouse right there? And you know, he's very clicky, clicks, 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 clicks. So when I was getting this today, I was getting this downstairs in the living room, and I was upstairs watching I was watching that Kentucky judge Williams, right? Is it Williams? I got a clip of him, but we don't have time to play it today. Anyway, I could hear the judge the whole time I was upstairs, clicking, 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 clicking. And I don't know, it made me smile the whole night. Every time I heard the clicking, 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 I was upstairs smiling. I love this judge. See, he just has to click and we smile. Victoria, I got some news for you. Melissa is coming back so soon, and we can't wait for her to come back. But she's coming back soon. Don't worry. Don't worry none. But you should eat as much candy as you can when you get in Monday, because she's probably been without candy for a whole week. So she's going to need a lot. And then you're not going to get any.
Matt. Okay. And what is your name, sir? Williams. Williams?
W-E-L.
Got it. All right. Good morning, Mr. Wells. Sir, you're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir. Okay.
On June 20th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a suspicious person call at a gas station, which is a known drug trafficking location. Officers observed the defendant loitering at that location, and officers left the location and returned 30 minutes later, and defendant and his vehicle were still there. Officers made contact with the defendant and smelled odor of marijuana. A probable cause search was completed and recovered a clear bag with green leafy substance in the center console, along with 13 individual.
I bet you it was weed.
The weight of the bag was 0.55 ounces.
All right. Mr. Wells, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case.
So what, sir? Proper cause to what though? They say they walked up on the suspicious cop
I was just suspicious. I wasn't laundering. I was there at the store. The store dude told them I wasn't laundering it out.
You need a lawyer to help you out with this, and then the lawyer will tell you. But as it stands, an officer can always just come up and start.
Just and walk up on you. No. All right. Yes, sir.
I was wrong.
You know, you go to
Sometimes I'm wrong.
California, you go to Colorado. Hey,
So the proper
you know?
call is just walk up on me and just say, "Hey, I smell weed." That's cool. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You don't live in Colorado. You don't live in California, man. Or I don't know. Where's the other one? Is it California? Right?
California.
In
I got
Texas.
PTSD, so
Amy Love, if you weren't here yesterday, thank you so much for the Patreon subscription. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
at the end of the day,
Please, Mr. Wells. All right. What do you do for a living, sir?
Jesus McKinney.
Okay, we're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. I'm going to have you go to Victoria. I'm not putting any conditions on your bond, Mr. Wells, but understand this. If you pick up a new case, it's not going to go well. You understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, I will have you go to Victoria, sign a reset, and we'll get you out of here, sir.
I think the MOAP has it where it's a no contact, no. And so I was gonna see if we can get that changed around, so.
You need to understand, Mr. Pulido, that you're skirting very thin ice. There is a protective order that says you're not supposed to have threatening or harassing contact with the complaining witness, which is your mom. I want you to listen. What is threatening or harassing doesn't matter what you think. It's what she perceives. So can conduct alone violate this? If I go like this to you, is that threatening or harassing? It most certainly is. You're the one that will end up going to jail if your mom thinks that you're threatening or harassing her. So I would be very careful. I'm okay with you staying with her, but the order for protection says no threatening or harassing contact. It's what she perceives, not what you think or what you feel or what you care. I don't give a rat's behind about it. It's how she feels. So if you're at mom's house and you're upset, it probably would be a good idea to walk outside, go run a mile and cool off or do something. Because if you upset her and she calls the DAs and says, hey man, my son's harassing me again, guess who goes to jail? Right. And the problem is that aside from your mom, there's no one else that's probably willing to pony up $5,000 to $10,000 to bond you out. So if you go to jail, you got out now because I gave you a free bond. You're not going to get another one. You violate these conditions, you'll end up there with a $5,000 to $10,000 bond. And if you don't have anyone to pay that, you will be stuck like Chuck. Do you understand?
I was thinking of sending my son there too for a different reason.
That's all I'm asking. Think before you act and think before you speak. Sometimes you might have but a nanosecond to do it.
Donald, I think you're okay too.
What I'm going to do now, so that both you guys know, and what Hugh is asking for, is to modify the order for protection to allow you to go home. The only thing I'm doing is I'm taking off the residential restriction. All the other stuff in the order for protection stays, so that you know, no threatening, harassing contact. You cannot use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon. You understand? Okay, so just keep it cool. That's all we're asking. Okay. All right.
Thanks, Judge.
Thanks, you.
After the 61 days are over, can I move out or something?
We need to figure out what we're going to do with this case before you go to Dallas. I know that you're itching to go, but we need to figure out what's going to happen with your life. You've got this case open, and if you go to Dallas, I'm afraid we just might not see you again. So that's why I don't want that to happen for now. Okay?
With the ankle monitor or something like that.
Say that again?
I'm okay with an ankle monitor or something like that.
No. I can't monitor you in Dallas, man. No. So let's do this. Let's try to get is there anything that's in right now?
There's an offer.
Yes, there's an offer, and I was gonna communicate that to him.
3 months PTI.
They've given you a great offer where, you know, you can get this case dismissed. And I'm telling you, that's the best thing for you because you don't want this on your record. It will hurt you. It'll haunt you forever if you get a conviction. So they've given you a good offer. If you do things quick, perhaps they'll let you off quick. And I'm okay with that too. The idea is that you learn from this. So in the future, you reflect and you think before you act, you know? Okay, Mr. Pulido, I have modified this condition. You can go back home. Just be nice. Okay? All right, thanks you. Thank you.
We all need to listen to that today. Be
What do you do
nice.
for a living, Mr. Terry?
I work tree work, anywhere from 1,000, 1,500.
Guys, how much is restitution in this case? 1,240. 1,247?
I don't have that kind of money, sure.
Okay, so I guess let's talk about the other option and then we'll go from there. You know, the case is nearly 750 days
A
old.
2 or 3 week reset.
I'm not doing that long.
You just want him to figure it out today or?
Well, I mean, I'll give you a week.
Beer
or so,
fixed me.
But your case is so old, it's sprout legs and it can walk.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, I'm not inclined to just give you a bunch of time to figure out because it's not fair to everybody else that does what they're supposed to do. I'm going to tell you now, Mr. Terry, if you ever take off on me again and don't come back, get ready. Do you understand?
Can we get a 1 week appearance required,
Yeah.
Judge?
I'll do that.
Thank you, Judge.
So in a week, they've offered you time cert. In a week, you must come back here and either be prepared to accept the offer from the district attorneys. They have offered to dismiss your case if you pay the $1,200. In a week, perhaps you can get the money. I don't know. If not, they've also given you a time served offer. If you do not want to accept that offer, that's okay. At that point, we'll set your case for trial. Okay?
Thank you, Judge. See, and I'm gonna get you a new court date, okay?
Okay. Mr. McGinley, you ready?
How about option 4? I don't show up to court at all in a week. Then we'll see what happens.
Yes, Judge.
Juan Robles.
Sorry, just to clarify on Ms. Humphreys, the dismissal is it's already
Yes.
everything's done, turned in. Okay,
They're going to
thank
file
you.
the dismissal now.
Okay, I'll let their office know. Thank you.
No, it's not. No, well, in some respects it is. In some respects it is. You're here now because you have a bond violation. Oh, you picked up a new case. You're now charged with criminal trespass. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and/or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. Okay, Ms. Garza, please.
On June 21st, 2024, officers was working an extra job at Bombshells, and a bartender identified defendant as someone who was banned from the bar for previous physical and verbal altercations.
At a bar.
The officer asked defendant to leave the premises. He refused, and he was asked for his ID. He advised, "I plead the fifth." Yeah, that's all we have.
And at that point, I guess they arrest him and charge him with trespass.
It's also a restaurant, Your Honor.
Stop. I'm going to find that there's cause to go forward on your new case. And Mr. Robles, now I'm taking you into custody for picking up a new case. It goes with you. $5,001 on this one, please. Robles on the top of 13. Yes.
Which case?
The DWI. Yeah. Mr. McGinley.
Yes, Judge.
He will probably pop up on Monday's docket, so if you guys want to pop in, then we can see what happens, I guess, and we'll go from there.
I will do. And I spoke with Mr. Martinez. He came out of the hospital and asked me. I told him I was on hold on Zoom. And so I'll give him an update right now.
Is he okay?
Talk to him. I believe so. It seems
You
to be a
had
pretty
me
bad
at picture.
infection with his health conditions already, being diabetic and all that. But he has his wife setting up everything for him, taking care of him.
Well, tell him we wish him his best and that we hope he
I
gets
will do.
back, okay?
I will do. Thank you so much,
All right.
Judge.
Thanks, friend.
Thank you.
You took in simple data to Garza. What would you respond to that?
You know, guys, Judge is hitting the candy a little hard today, and she hasn't even done anything yet. Don't worry about this next part. It's just the duo. It's just the duo conquering the world.
For this one,
And look how many people, like Oklahoma City, Atlanta, Missouri, Michigan,
oh man, that's awesome.
Virginia, Maryland, Minnesota. I mean,
Minnesota.
can we hit every state?
That would be awesome.
It's Victoria and
We
her
should do
helper,
whole
the
US
judge.
on a map and pin everyone. That was cool. I know, it really is, but I'm wondering, Judge,
Finland.
Judge, we have a
Wow.
work question.
Do you mind signing the set aside order?
Yeah, what is that?
So it's just for on that form.
Okay, yeah.
The other one by me is.
Judge, there's someone on here from Cypress, Texas.
Woman that passed away, but I guess she already fled and that was the wrong way to.
I believe it's Mr. Victoria.
What?
Wait.
Michael.
You talking about Victoria?
No, Michael.
Michael.
Wait, what?
Mr. Victoria.
Miss Victoria, Michael.
Mr. Victoria.
Hi, Michael.
Wait, oh, Michael's
See you
on?
later. Mhm.
Hmm,
I have another work-related question.
okay.
This financial affidavit is in English and Spanish. The defendant gave it to his girlfriend to fill it out because he can't read English,
That's okay.
but so she didn't know none of the answers.
Which
So
one is?
nothing.
Oh,
Morales. So you want to just
so maybe we should
send it
make
home?
that a condition upon who learns how to read and write then, huh?
Or we can send them home with it like we do sometimes.
Well, how are you gonna make that a condition upon? You can't read it.
Yeah,
Okay, go get classes, man. Learn how to read and write.
or we can send them home with it.
Yeah, sure.
Send them home.
No,
Like two weeks.
no, how on earth are you?
Maybe
Can
he
you,
has somebody
can
that
you call me the
can.
translator, please?
Yes. Right.
It's time that he needs to learn how to read and write.
I would also like to remind you of 1207.
I know. Last thing, are we almost done?
Yeah.
No, Judge, you're not, unless I
Tienes que
missed a
ver
part.
cómo puedes conseguir clases para ver cómo puedes aprender a escribir y leer. Tienes que saber eso. Ya tienes 46, algo así como.
Sí.
Yeah. Tienes que aprender. ¿Me entiendes, Méndez? All right.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll work on it, Judge. Thank you. Can I reset them?
That was pretty awesome, guys. Thank you, Victoria.
She's doing better than you.
There we
No,
go.
she's not. I know my mother. Look at, she is fucking beyond exhausted. I am not gonna have it. I am not, and I am kicking myself in the ass for whipping my 43-year-old cousin with a switch. I don't care no more. I don't care no more. She lied on me. She got a few pops. And this thing about hitting her in the face to the stick broke, you're kidding me right now. You are kidding me.
She's
I'm a good
doing.
person.
She's great.
No, she's not great. You don't know my mother. I'm watching her over there with doze. You weren't there 2 weeks ago when she was going like this in the middle of the night and having a seizure and bit her tongue and spitting blood. I'm not having it. Lock me up. Lock me up or whatever. Let her go. No, it shouldn't have to be in this many fucking hours.
You need to relax.
No.
You're creating.
My back is fucking hard. I am beyond pain. I can only imagine what she feels like at almost 80 years old. No. I'm living. I can't take no more of this crap. 5 days in jail. 3 days on a concrete floor, disabled. No, no, no. Inhumane. No.
I'm right. I'm all right.
No.
I have a lawyer coming here momentarily. We call any minute. I don't know why she's carrying on like this. I think that you're doing fantastic. She's sitting there being completely just fine.
That's how she was the other night. Yeah, a couple weeks ago when she had a seizure and started biting her tongue and fucking seizing out and shit. Had to go to the doctor. She's had 2 strokes and 3 seizures in 1 month. I know my mama. She's been there for me. I appreciate everything. I'll be damned if I sit over there and watch her just dozing and feeling like this. No, because of my shit. So do what you have to do.
She's fine.
Do what you have to do.
Do we have the lawyer coming?
Oh my God.
Okay. Would you like to sit in this chair, Mrs. Pope? I have this black chair there that's more comfortable. Would you like to sit there? Tracy, do you mind taking your stuff off? You can sit right there and wait. They should be here any moment.
Nice and soft.
Look, it's nice and soft. It's not a problem. Really. Ricardo, did you get a point for this
I gotta
case?
be able to drive back to Katie and drive her home back to Katie. No, I'm exhausted. She's exhausted. This is ridiculous. Well, shit, everybody just stare at me because I'm in fucking pain and I don't feel good. I'm concerned about my mom. Stop staring at me. Okay, I have anxiety disorder. I have PTSD because I had the fuck beat out of me by my father. And if you don't believe me, ask my father. No.
Come on, get up.
The lawyer, ma'am, your lawyer is here now.
Do what you have to do.
You can talk to her in the back.
Quit pulling me apart. She's pulling me that way. She's pulling. Your Honor. I don't care. You're not gonna pull
Your
me
Honor.
away.
Sam, Sam,
Sam.
okay. You have a great lawyer here, Ms. Pope. Sam is as easygoing as great as can be. We're just gonna let you go today. Just be careful. All we want you to do is come back. That's the only thing you have to do is come back and stay in contact with Sam. That's
Yeah, I
it.
want to, sir. It's not my fault. It flooded and the courthouse was closed and my mom had a seizure and went in the hospital.
Ms. Pope,
That wasn't my choice.
don't worry about it. You're fine. There's nothing to worry about. All we want you to do is come back and stay in contact with Sam. That's it. And don't pick up any new cases.
No, man, I'm too old for that. I have a grandmother of 4 children. I don't want no trouble, but she needed a whooping with a stick. That's all I have
It's all
to
right.
say.
I'm gonna go grab my card. Let's get you out of here, okay?
Okay, we'll get you out. We'll give you a reset. Good luck, ma'am, and then we'll see you in a month. Okay.
Just walk around here, sign your name right here.
Yeah, we're gonna get you. This is my purse over there by my mom.
Do you have her purse?
My purse.
Do you have her purse?
Yeah. She's somebody will charge.
Thank you. You're doing great. Thank you.
I love when the judge tells somebody they're doing a good job.
You're done.
Even
Thanks.
when we know
Have a
they're
great
not.
weekend, guys,
It
and we'll
still
see you
feels good.
Monday morning. Yeah.
Oh, Miss Flo, you can help her. You can go help her.
Hey, did you want to say bye to anyone?
I want to say bye to Michael. Can't wait to eat enchiladas. And everyone else. Bye.
Bye, Michael. Hey, American Courts is here. Hello. I love your shorts. I watch them all the time, by the way.
The commitment paperwork on Luna that doesn't have anything checked off, so I need to.
Is there anything you need me to sign before we take off?
A race sheet. I guess that would be a no, guys. Yeah, he's right. Legal was right. I missed the jury part, but that's right. We got the best. We got it. We got a lot of it. Well, that was almost 2 hours to the dot. That's all I have today. But you know what? Let's just do this one more time. Let's do this one more time. We'll open and close with Ramona.
I just they want me to say hi.
She's so cute.
Is this good?
Yes. Thank you, Ramona. Victoria, you guys are doing great being so open with everybody. And then Melissa comes back, and we still get to see Steven. Yep. Maybe we'll get a soft sit this week, guys. Maybe we'll get a soft sit Monday morning, 9:30. Soft sit. Thank you, Beautifully Inappropriate. Guys, if you're here for the videos, they're over. We did it. It is. It's too much fun sometimes. It hurts. My cheeks hurt from laughing. Oh, American Courts hit 100,000 subscribers. That's awesome. Now you get your own, what's the word? Not concierge, but what's the word? You get your own person at YouTube that you can actually talk to. I can't speak to an actual human being at YouTube. I just can't. Yeah. Listen, I just have to be good for 3 more days or something. I gotta delete some of my videos, and then I won't have a concierge like AC does. I don't know what they're called. They are called something. You get your own personal therapist. Is it account manager? Is that what it is, Rebecca? Guys, when we're in Discord chat, after streams, we go into Discord and we talk to each other. I keep calling Rebecca Carolyn because they have the same accent. However, I don't think I've ever called Carolyn Rebecca. I was thinking about that today. Hey, Crystal, that's so nice. See, American Courts. Crystal, I don't think you've ever texted in this chat before, have you? But you did for American Courts, and that's pretty cool. That's really cool. Hey, legal, thanks, but I really don't need that. Man, we would never be able to see anything in chat. I wish I was mostly a lurker sometimes. I do. Sometimes I just want to sit back and watch the freaking court video, but I can't. One of these days, I'm going to have Fozzie do the stream, and then I'm going to be the moderator. I love lurkers and people that just comment in the comments. They can't make the lives, but they comment. It's great. Creepy, Donald. Creepy. 500 feet away from her. You know what the judge said. Oh, Victoria, you're the reason that she hit 100,000. Yay. Hi, RSJ. Yeah, so what I was saying is I don't know why I don't ever call CJ Rebecca. That doesn't make sense. You would think I would get them both. Or maybe, you know what I think it is? All Australians are Carolyn. No, this the one of my good friends years ago, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, her name was Carolyn, and she was from Australia, and we used to play this video game together. So, you know, when I hear a female Australian voice, I always heard it through the headphones. I always thought of Carolyn. And now Carolyn's here, a different Carolyn, but it's still Carolyn. So that's probably why, Rebecca, I call you Carolyn, and I never call Carolyn Rebecca. You know what we need, guys? Thank you, American Courts. We need some nice male Australian accents in our Discord. Can you guys work on that? No, I have pictures of her. We need some really like lifeguard male. Oh, Ramona's here. Is Ramona here? Did I miss it? I saw a Yates. Hold on. What? Hold on. I got you guys scroll so fast and I can't read and talk at the same time. Hi, Jamie. Hey, go to work. Go to work, Jamie. Go to work. Go to work. In my head, they have one name because that's the only people I know. Yeah, if you could get an Australian dude named Thunder from Down Under in our Discord, that they do, Donald. Donald, trust me, they have voices. They really do. I had my I can't remember what it's called, so it doesn't matter. Rebecca Lynn. Rebecca Lynn. I can just keep saying call everybody Rebecca Lynn. Yeah. I don't like waking up. I like going to bed more. It's slow. Going to bed is fun. Waking up is like, ah. So tomorrow's my last day on this crappy computer. And guys, I got something humongous planned. It's going to take me forever to finish. But I got something so big planned when I get my computer back. I don't know how many weeks it's going to take me to finish, but it's big. It's going to be big. I just don't know the best way to do it. You know, release everything all at once, release one video a day, one a week. I don't know, but I'm telling you, it's right down all of your alleys, all of you. And it's big. I can't wait. I just need my computer back. Yes. Yes. Yep. Good job, little computers. Good job. A month. Whoo, legal. Whoo, I don't know if I can do it in a month, but boy, I'm gonna try. I am going to try. You guys are gonna love it. I'm telling you, you're gonna love it. You're gonna be like, what? Why'd she do that? Yep. And Victoria, I'm a dedicated lifer forever. So, Victoria, the the main thing I try or I tried, was never play any clips that any of the other channels are playing, right? So when all the other channels started playing Fleischer, that conflicted with me. I'm like, now what do I do? But you know what? I just, he's mine. You know, you guys are not because like not because I saw him or anything like that, but because I don't know, like your videos and my chat, they go together perfectly. They're like perfect. So he's mine. So I'm gonna keep playing Fleischer videos even though everybody else is playing them. It was hard, but no one plays Kathy watching Fleischer? No, we gotta get a video of Fozzie watching Donald watching Rebecca watching Kelly watching Kathy watching Fleischer. Okay, we have to get the bingo cards done. I have so much I want to do. All right. Listen, guys, I've been awake for an insane amount of hours right now. So I'm not going into Discord today. I promise you I would just fall asleep while you're talking to me, and that's just rude. I only do that to people I date. But thank you so much for coming out. I really, really, really appreciate it. I can't wait to get to the next lawyer and this cop tomorrow on the stand. The judge, the judge would have to be like way higher though. Oh, legal. So it was accordion and banjo at first, and then it got really crazy when they pulled the flute out. It was no, wait, stop. You know what else they did? I was gonna record it because I just couldn't believe it was actually happening. Friday night at a bar, they stopped playing the music to tell a story about Rapunzel's baby. They tell this, it was like theater. They tell this long story, but you know, the sounds of them in the bass were sounds like this. So all we heard was Rapunzel. That's what it sounded like to everybody. Plus, we had a group of 40 soccer kids back there screaming, yelling, and running around. So nobody could hear what they were saying. It was a nightmare. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It was I know. I said hello, Your Honor, or no, I said welcome, Your Honor, yesterday, but I worked a double, so I didn't. I was in Discord today. I was. It was very, very quiet in Discord today, guys. Like in all of the channels. I think I was the only one chatting. In the middle of my job, I was posting videos of the band. I don't think anybody else said anything else all day. Yeah, I was trying to find him, I can't help it, Fozzie. I can't promise you that I can stop calling it today, even though it was yesterday, because it's still yesterday for me. I haven't been asleep yet. Yeah, I'll try. I will very much try to remember that yesterday was yesterday. But it really was tomorrow for Carolyn and Rebecca. All right. I'm going to take a little nap and maybe get started. I just, something big is coming. I'm telling you guys, something's really big is coming. I just need to butt time. I need butt time to sit down and do it. So I'm going to go. Thank you so much for coming out today. I really, really appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll continue on with that crazy trial and more Fleischer, obviously. And be good. Be good. Behave. Bye, guys. Thank you.